Flesh and Blood currently has 28 unique heroes amongst 9 different classes. The objective of the game is to reduce your opponent's health to 0. This is Bravo. He's a Guardian hero with 40 health and 4 intellect. Intellect is how many cards you draw up to at the end of your turn. Because Bravo is a Guardian, he can use all Guardian specialized cards when creating his deck or choosing his equipment. And this is Bravo's star of the show. He is a different hero to the original Bravo because he's an Elemental Guardian. Due to his ability, he has access to all the Guardian cards as well as all the Lightning, Earth, and Ice cards when building his deck. Once you've chosen your hero, Once you've chosen your hero, it's time to choose your equipment. Each player gets 1 piece of equipment for their chest, head, arms, and legs. You also get 2 hands to use weapons with, either 2 one-handed weapons or 1 two-handed weapon. Weapons have activated or passive abilities that can potentially cost resources, and weapons start in play and do not go to the graveyard when they're used. This is Critical Strike. Most of the cards you add into your deck will have a resource cost, a pitch value, attacking values, and defending values. The resource cost needed to play Critical Strike is 1. The way resources are created is by discarding or pitching a card. When a card is pitched, you gain resources equal to the pitch value. Resources last until the end of the turn, and all cards that are in the pitch zone at the end of the turn are put on the bottom of the player's deck in the order that they choose. So what do we get for paying 1 resource for crit?
You're a retard.
Puta madre. Sorry, what? So what do we get for paying 1 resource for Critical Strike? Since Critical Strike is an attack action, it starts the combat chain and is now attacking our opponent for its attack value. This is also where the defense value comes into play, as now the defending hero can block with any number of cards in their hand to reduce the damage taken from the Critical Strike. Critical Strike, along with most other cards, have multiple colors available. As you can see, the yellow Critical Strike has a pitch value of 2, but now attacks for 1 less damage. And the blue has a pitch value of 3, but attacks for 2 less damage than the red. Card colors in your deck allow you to prioritize either resources or power. This is Healing Balm. Just like Critical Strike, it also comes in different colors with different pitch values. But as you can see, it doesn't have an attack value. These types of cards are referred to as non-attack actions. When you play this card, its effect takes place and then it's placed into the graveyard. Each player starts their own turn with 1 action point. Playing an action card uses your 1 action point. This usually limits actions played to 1 per turn, unless the action card has Go Again. Go Again says when the action card is played, you gain 1 action point. Now that you have an additional action point, another attack can be played and added to the combat chain to create the second chain link. Instants work the same way as non-attack actions, except they don't require an action point to be played, and they can also be played during your opponent's turn. After the defending player has finished blocking, the next step is the reaction step. In this step, each player can either play attack or defense reactions without requiring an action point. The effect of these cards happen as soon as they are played. Let's say I attack with Head Jab and the opponent blocks with Debilitate. First off, the attacking player has the option to play an attack reaction card to buff the attack action. Let's say I play a Razor Reflex, so now my attack has 6 power instead of 3. The opponent now has a chance to play any defense reactions they have in their hand. Let's say the opponent has a Fate Foreseen and they play it and activate its effect to opt 1. Now it's also blocking for 3 damage. This process is repeated until both players are done playing reaction cards. The damage taken is equal to the attacking power minus the block value of all defending cards. If the attack deals damage, the attack is considered as hit. The arsenal is the zone underneath your hero. If your arsenal is empty, you can add a card from your hand to it face down at the end of your turn. This happens before you draw cards from intellect. You can only play cards from your arsenal, so you can't use the cards in your arsenal for resources or for block. Reaction cards are playable from the arsenal, so you're able to block with defense reactions from your arsenal. At the end of the first turn, each player draws cards until they have cards in hand equal to their hero's intellect. This is done so the defending player is able to block and draw a hand to play on their following turn.